guys, it's ToProForuGames or Adam, and welcome to the evolution of the Raygun here in Call of Duty Zombies. So what we'll be doing in today's video is we are going to take a look at the Raygun and see how it's evolved over the last couple of years, or I should say last decade or so, because the Raygun was first introduced in World at War Zombies on a Nocturne and Toten, so it's been in COD Zombies since the very beginning, and we'll look at the Raygun from Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 as well, and of course, all of the different variations of the Raygun, so the Mark II from Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, and of course, guys, the Raygun Mark III from BO3 as well. Before we get into the video, guys, I want you to let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite version of the Raygun in COD Zombies? Is it one of the regular Rayguns from World at War BO1, BO2, or BO3? Is it a version of the Mark II, or maybe it is the Mark III? Please let me know in the comments below. I'll let you guys know what my favorite version is once we go over every single version of the Raygun in this video. And also, guys, if we could break 5,000 likes on this video, that would honestly mean so much. And besides that, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the World at War version, the first version of the Raygun ever in COD Zombies. When it comes to the Raygun here in World at War Zombies, I don't think I have any complaints, because the Raygun is a gun that's been in Zombies since day one, and it was on Nocturne and Toten when the game first came out, and it's been on pretty much every single map since the beginning. So I can't complain about this gun here in World at War. It was a very, very good gun. If you went to the box and you got the Raygun and you took it, because I know when I played World at War Zombies, I would always take the Raygun. I thought it was the best gun ever, and 3 of the 4 maps, I would say it is the best gun. On Der Riese, you had the Wanderwaffe, and no one ever got the Waffe on Der Riese just because it took your jug away. And then, of course, on Shinonuma, the Waffe was definitely a lot more effective, so I feel like the Waffe beats the Raygun on Shinonuma. Besides that, the Raygun was a very, very good gun, and in World at War, really no complaints. It was a beast. The Raygun here in Black Ops 1 Zombies is a very interesting version of the Raygun, because when Black Ops 1 first came out, the hype of the Raygun kind of carried over from World at War to the beginning of Black Ops 1. And on Kino der Toten and 5, which were the maps that came with the game, that was no DLC, there was no PhD flopper on those maps. So people still use the Raygun just like they normally did in World at War. If you got out of the box, you took it because it was the Raygun, of course. You had the Thunder Gun on Kino, which was definitely better than the Raygun, but still people use the Raygun. And then on 5, I would say the Raygun's better than the Winter's Howl. So it was used a lot during the beginning of Black Ops 1. Then the DLCs came out, and with all 4 DLCs, we had PhD Flopper, and PhD Flopper kind of spoiled us because it made the Raygun into a very, very powerful weapon. Again, when paired with PhD, you could like never die with it, because if you ever got cornered, you just shoot the ground, and you would never have to worry about killing yourself with a Raygun. It would make covering someone or reviving someone so much easier. It honestly made the Rayguns like a very, very, very good weapon. Nothing like it is today. And I think after Black Ops 1, things kind of started going downhill for the Raygun. Black Ops 2 was a very interesting year for the Raygun as well, because in Black Ops 2, you had 2 versions of this gun. You had the regular Raygun, and then you had the Raygun Mark II. Let's start off with the regular Raygun. When Black Ops 2 first came out, a lot of people used this gun, because on Transit you had the jet gun, which nobody ever used, and of course you had Nuketown and the Town, Farm, Bus Depot. The Raygun was a very popular weapon. I know I used it a ton, but the thing is, once DLCs came out and there was no PhD flopper, I feel like the Raygun just died. It was still a good gun, but people just stopped using the regular Raygun. The wonder weapons had gotten better and better and better, and the Raygun just kind of slowly died away until DLC 3. DLC 3 was huge for Rayguns because the first thing is, of course, the Raygun Mark III, and of course, DLC, by the way, was the buried DLC. Mark II was introduced with DLC 3, and that was absolutely huge because the Raygun Mark II is a really good gun. And since the Raygun Mark II was available on every single map, if you did buy DLC 3, it changed a lot of the older maps because on older maps you used a lot of the Raygun, right? But now you have the Mark II on those maps, and it kind of killed the Raygun completely on those old maps. Everyone would use the Raygun Mark II because it was a very effective weapon. It would kill zombies until 50 plus. It was a beast. It was definitely the best box gun, and not including any like major wonder weapons on the maps. It was definitely the go-to box gun to have. Now, the regular Raygun on Buried, they introduced a PhD flop of permaperk, and that made people use the regular Raygun a lot more, specifically on Buried, because the PhD flop of permaperk was only on Buried. So it was huge. You know, Black Ops 2 DLC 3 was huge for the regular Raygun and, of course, the introduction of the Raygun Mark II. But unfortunately, the permaperk was only on Buried, and the Mark II went on to Origins and, of course, Black Ops 3 Zombies as well. The Raygun here in Black Ops 3 Zombies is very interesting because there's a lot of versions of the Raygun in this game. Let's start out by talking about the regular Raygun. And for people who've been playing zombies since World at War, I think we all can agree that this version of the Raygun is easily the worst version we've ever seen. The regular Raygun, of course, because it just doesn't feel like the Raygun. It doesn't feel effective. It feels weak. It makes crawlers in the early rounds. It's nothing like what the Raygun was in Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, and World at War Zombies. I don't remember the last time I actually got and used the Raygun for a game. I just never ever get the Raygun here in Black Ops 3. It's bad. Even the PAP version is bad. Unfortunately, it's just not a good gun. I'm going to skip over to the Raygun Mark II, and we'll talk about the Raygun Mark III right after this. The Raygun Mark II was introduced with Zombies Chronicles on all of the Chronicle maps, and the Raygun Mark II was exactly the same as the Black Ops 2 version. It was a very effective gun, and I think they did a really good job taking the Black Ops 2 version and putting it into Black Ops 3 because it feels like the exact same weapon. Like the regular Raygun, absolutely not, but the Mark II is a very good gun, but it's different in Black Ops 3 because Black Ops 3 Zombies, going to higher rounds is so incredibly easy with all the gobblegums and the crazy OP wonder weapons. In Black Ops 2, not so much. So the Raygun was definitely used a lot, or Mark II, sorry, was used a lot more in Black Ops 2 for going for those higher rounds. Here in Black Ops 2, it's not really all that useful. It's a good gun to have out of the box, but once you get to those higher rounds, like 40, 50 plus, it just becomes a useless gun. And it's all about the gobblegums and the wonder weapons, but it's definitely still a good gun, but not as good as the Black Ops 2 version. The Raygun Mark III. Man, I don't know what to say about this gun because there was a lot of hype with the Mark III when it was first announced or first shown in the Gord Krobi trailer. So much hype for the Raygun Mark III. It was insane. Maybe a little bit too much hype because this is a gun that I am really not all that crazy about. Don't get me wrong, it's a decent gun. It's a wonder weapon. It's decent, but Is it better than the Raygun Mark II from Black Ops 3? I don't think so. It's definitely better than the regular Raygun, just because the regular Raygun in Black Ops 3 is just horrible. But, you know, compared to the Raygun from Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1, I don't think that this is better than those guns were. It's just not a gun that I see coming back in COD Zombies. Maybe, you never know, but I just don't see it happening. It's not a standout weapon in my opinion. Whenever I play Gorod, will I get this? Sure, but it's a gun that I'm not thrilled about. Like, I'd rather have the PPSH or the FFAR on Gorod Krovi. I am just not crazy about the Raygun Mark III, and I know a lot of people have different opinions with this gun. You either like it or you don't like it, and unfortunately, I am one of those people who just do not like the Raygun Mark III. So it's time to talk about which version of the Raygun I think is the best in Call of Duty Zombies, and this is out of every single version, including the Mark IIs, and of course the Mark III from a Black Ops 3 Zombies. My favorite version has to be the Black Ops 1 Raygun, and I think during Black Ops 1, the community just absolutely loved the Raygun. You know, with Kino der Toten and 5, those maps did not have PhD. Everyone used the Raygun because we were fresh off of World at War Zombies, and then of course when PhD Flopper was introduced on Ascension, and of course all the DLC maps had it, everyone used the regular Raygun. It was so good, so effective, it was amazing for getting out of situations. The Raygun in BO1 was at its peak. That's where the Raygun was the strongest, in my opinion. My second favorite was definitely the BO2 Mark II. That thing is an absolute beast. And my third favorite has to be the BO2 Raygun. But guys, that is my personal favorite Raygun in all of COD Zombies. Let me know in the comments below what yours is. And besides that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop it a like and subscribe for a ton of Call of Duty Zombies content. Peace out, guys.